Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do some easy house flipping of a Dollar Tree house. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so this little house flip is super easy and super inexpensive. So I took one of the little mermaid houses from the Dollar Tree. So $1.25. The peel and stick tile is just $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. And then that pack of wooden tags is 8 for $1 at the Dollar General. So the first thing I do is kind of dismantle my little house. I start by taking off the foam sticker. It put up a little bit of a fight, so I had to use my heat tool to get that completely off and my Cricut spatula. And then I took off the wooden piece that is the roof line, and it was actually tacked on there with little tiny nails. So I do take that outside and hammer that down so that my home decor won't, cut anybody. And that side ends out being the back. I don't show it in the video, but I am going to put some craft paper on the back side just so that it looks finished on the back as well. So then I take my tile decal and I line up the corner of it with the top of my roof line of the house. I thought it would be easiest way to do it, and B, that way I was sure that the design kind of ran down the center. So I pressed that on really well, and then now I'm going to take my Cricut craft knife and cut off the extra bit of tile. And I almost forgot to go get anything to put on my table, so I almost just cut right into my table. But I went and got my Spellbinder self-healing mat. Now, I know these pieces that I'm cutting off, I know that other people could take that and make a mailbox or a wreath or something amazing, but I am just not one of those people. So shame on me, I discard them. Okay, so the next step is painting. I used Waverly chalk paint in white, and I just kind of half-a painted over the whole thing. It may not have even been a half-a. It may have been more like quarter-a painted it. I didn't want full coverage. I wanted the design to show through. I was going to sand it down a little bit anyway, so I didn't take a whole lot of care to make sure it looked great. I did go around and paint all the sides so that everything matched. But again, the sides may have been half-a. I don't know. Alright, so my next step while that was drying was to get the door made. So these are all the different things that I used to make my little door. The popsicle sticks or craft sticks and the little shot glasses were just to mix my faux stain. And I used black and burnt umber paint from Apple Barrel for that. So my goal was to match the top of the house for my door. So I don't really want my door to look like a gift tag, so I needed to cut down the top part of that. And it is a relatively thin piece of wood, so the Cricut craft knife did the job. I used a ruler so that I would have a straight edge, and I just put it where I wanted it, the size that I wanted my door. I used my Cricut craft knife. Basically, I just scored it several times until it pretty much cut through. Here you kind of see me, I'm going over it again, and then I go over the sides. I cut into the sides a little bit so that I can flip it over to the back and make sure that I'm cutting in exactly the same spot. Once I had that done, I mixed up my faux stain. I already have a little bit of water in that little cup, and so I put a little bit of black because the burnt umber just really isn't quite dark enough. And as I was mixing it, I realized that maybe those weren't the best choice because they kind of have little ridges on the inside. So as I'm stirring it around with my popsicle stick, I kept hitting those and just sending watery paint splattering everywhere. So it ended up being a lot messier than I thought it was going to be. But it did actually turn out really well. The stain color is very, very close to the color of the roof. Now, once it dries, it looks almost exact here as I'm painting it, but once it dries, it does dry a good bit lighter, but it still matches really well. Once the chalk paint was dry enough, I very, very gently went over it with a sanding block from the Dollar Tree. I just wanted to hit those raised areas and kind of around the edges, just so that that little bit of kind of that goldish color would come through on the raised areas. Okay, so the last step is just to kind of get everything put back together. So I have this Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. It has a very, very thin tip on it. It is very, very popular in the paper crafting world, and card making is all I've used it for up to this point. I can tell you it worked perfectly for this as well. It is a very strong adhesive, and that precision tip comes in super handy for a lot of different things. Now you see me stop right there because my little door was still a little bit damp, so I didn't want to glue it on just yet. So instead I just kind of took this time to show you some of the different things that you can do to decorate it. Now it is super cute as is, and you could just stick it on a shelf or mantle or wherever you wanted, just plain like it is. And I will probably have it like that part of the year, but you can easily decorate for different holidays and different seasons as well. So there I put like an autumn wreath at the top, or the acorns on the door. And here, you know, I have some summer stickers. So basically you can just change it out for each season and each holiday as long as you don't use any kind of permanent adhesive. And that is it, guys. Like I said, super easy, super inexpensive. I think it only cost me maybe around $4 with all of the supplies, and it did not take long at all either. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of the things, and be sure to check out my link tree as well. Thank you, and have a great day.